North Topsail, where Jonathan Rodriguez is standing by live. So again, and we're going to get right back to that forecast. Sure. Jonathan, can you hear us? Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What are the conditions like? Tell me what you're feeling there right now.
Well, the rain has died down a little bit, but this wind is absolutely intense. I don't know if you can see behind me. These trees are really rocking. This is the bridge that was closed down from North Topsail Beach, and it still is closed down, but the barriers have already got blown over. So right now it's really windy conditions out here.
Now, Jonathan, if you can still hear us, have you seen any emergency vehicles passing by?
From here, I haven't. I did just get off the phone with emergency services. They said they still have more reports of power lines out. They weren't sure on specific areas, but they did have them, and they also said there was some flooding in downtown Jacksonville area. So it's still an intense storm, and even though the rain's not as bad out here, it's still flooding in the low-lying areas.
You know, Gannon, take a look at this video they're sending you on Skype here. What do you estimate the wind being at those trees? If you could show us the trees again there, Jonathan, give Gannon a chance to kind of give us an idea of what kind of winds you're looking at.
Well, based on the reports that have been going on in the area,
You can see I can barely actually keep I'm kind of worried about keeping that on the top of my head right now, but it is just that we are really starting to see, we were saying earlier that Hurricane Irene is making landfall, and though she's doing that farther south than we are here in Dare County, we are definitely feeling the effects. She is wreaking havoc on our area here. I'm going to try and wipe that off so that you guys can see. Talking about earlier how moving up to this point yesterday into last night, we were just starting to see a little bit of gusts and a little bit of rain. And boy, how has that all changed throughout the nighttime and early morning as Hurricane Irene made landfall. We are just completely inundated with rain. The rain is literally going horizontal throughout the area here with that strong wind coming through, and it just seems to be getting worse and worse by the minute, Alan.
Yeah. That said Irene 2. Well, at this time, that very same condo building is just taking a beating. The siding is peeling back. The roofing is just peeling back, and in that video, I also talked about how there's just that one lone car in the parking lot there, and hopefully those people are in a safe place at this time because I think the winds have just picked up so much. It's actually unsafe for us to even walk around. I'm standing right next to 3 Atlantic Beach police officers who've advised me just to stand tight here under the breezeway because the actual sliding door to the hotel now has just been ripped off of the hinges. And so you can imagine one of those sliding doors that you usually see in a business where it's a sensor and you walk up to it and it opens. It's completely ripped apart. The lobby area, the foyer rather, when you walk.
Water topping the levee in Swan Quarter. Major flooding taking place right now. A very, very serious situation in Hyde County, Amanda.
Truck, we were trying to make it up to New Bern, but the winds were just getting way too bad, so we're hunkered down behind the building, and even at that, I mean, the vehicles just rocking back and forth. I mean, these wind gusts are amazing.
The worst part of the storm, and I'm not so sure that's the case anymore, David.
Well, and I tell you one thing, as we compare notes here, meteorologist to meteorologist, that dry air entrainment is causing that supercooling and microburst action, isn't it, Jeff? You're saying a west wind, you're predicting west wind between 50 to 60 miles per hour right now, correct?
Yes, I would. I would be gust. I would say sustained 30. You're getting another probably 50 to 60 mile wind gust right now. Yes, it is a. Hold on. Yes, it is definitely blowing very, very strong right now. And David, another thing, I was coming out of the hotel here about 15 minutes ago, and the door, the automatic door that opens once you reach the lobby of the Sheraton is completely busted.
Begins and where the 2 4-foot deep ditches on either side begin. The engineers were very smart about this. They've got little, you might be able to see them right there in the middle of your screen. They put little yellow markers for the road for those of us who have to go in and out there so that we don't end up in the ditch. And that for Kenneth Roundtree, and they are coming to us via Skype. Guys, what are you looking at now?
Well, right now, Tree just saw storm chasers heading down toward Morehead City. We're heading toward New Bern on Highway 70. But so far, so good. I mean, on the roads, which you probably shouldn't be right now.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You know, it's time to go home and stay inside, watch this storm pass, and then we'll all come out when it's over with, right?
Andrea, what's the latest?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Amanda. Hey there. Well, here in Belhaven, not much has changed. The conditions have steadily sort of increased here. We've got the rain coming a little sideways now, but that means that the wind is picking up. The cloud cover is pretty consistent. It looks very dreary out here compared to when we first got here earlier this afternoon.
Not non-media, non-police type vehicles venturing out, and that is something that we want to discourage. Emergency officials have those curfews in place for a reason. There are some starting to see, as you look down the road, more and more loose debris that is starting to fly. I don't know, David, if that's because the winds are intensifying or...
By live with us?
I'm on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Where are you right now, Jonathan?
Well, this is the bridge that goes over the North Popsicle Beach on the island that is still closed down. We've actually had people come up and try to get across the bridge, but as soon as they get across, please stop them and send them right back. Apparently, they heard that the curfew has been lifted, so I called emergency services for Onslow County, and they said the curfew has not been lifted. Do not try to cross this bridge. But the winds are not dying down here at all yet. If you can look this way, there's a bunch of debris, and these low-lying areas are starting to flood, and the tree branches are just being scattered across this golf course here. And I don't know if you can see, but the intercoastal waterways are just splashing out into the